Hola y bienvenidos a todos. Están en Aprende Inglés con Carla, el podcast para llevar tu inglés al siguiente nivel. Soy Charlotte y estoy aquí con mi gran amigo y co-host, Marco.
Hola a todos. Hoy tenemos un episodio súper práctico. Vamos a ver esas frases esenciales que te ayudarán a sonar más natural en tus conversaciones diarias en inglés.
Exacto. Este episodio es perfecto si tienes un nivel intermedio, un B1, y quieres ganar confianza. Y como siempre, no se vayan, porque al final del episodio, la increíble Carla nos explicará el vocabulario más importante. Vamos a empezar. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the show. Marco, how's it going?
Hey Charlotte, I can't complain. It's been a busy week, but a good one. What have you been up to?
See, that's a perfect example of what we're talking about today. You didn't just say, I'm fine, thank you, and you used I can't complain and what have you been up to? It immediately sounds more natural, more real.
Absolutely. I think when we start learning English, we learn the very formal basic phrases. They are correct, of course, but they can sometimes sound a bit robotic in a real casual conversation. The goal is to move from textbook English to real-world English.
Exactly. So today, we want to break down these everyday phrases into a few key situations. Our first step is mastering those initial moments of a conversation. Greetings and small talk. We've already used a few, like, how's it going? Which is a relaxed way of saying, how are you? People might respond with, not bad, pretty good, or like you did, can't complain.
And the key to good small talk is the follow-up question. What have you been up to? Is fantastic because it invites the other person to share something about their recent life. It's much more open than, how are you? Other examples are, how was your weekend? Or any fun plans for the week? These questions show you are genuinely interested.
That's the real takeaway here. Small talk isn't just about exchanging greetings. It's about building a small bridge to the other person. Using these natural phrases makes that bridge stronger and the connection feel more authentic.
Now that we've started the conversation, let's move on to the core of it. Sharing opinions. Specifically, how to agree and disagree politely. Agreeing is usually the easy part, right? Phrases like, I agree, that's so true, or exactly, are simple and effective.
For sure. If we're talking about a movie we both liked, I could say, the main actor was amazing. And you could reply, totally. He was perfect for the role. We are on the same page and the conversation flows easily. But what happens when you don't agree? This is where many learners get nervous.
Yes, because in many cultures, disagreeing directly can feel rude. But in English, it's very normal to have different opinions, as long as you express them politely. Instead of saying, no, you're wrong, which is very confrontational, you can soften it. You could say, I see your point, but have you considered? Or, I'm not so sure about that. For me, it felt a bit.
That's a great technique. You acknowledge their perspective first with, I see your point. It shows you were listening. Let's use our movie example again. If I say, the ending was brilliant, and you didn't like it, how could you respond?
I could say something like, really? I see what you mean about the surprise, but I actually found it a bit confusing. This way I'm not attacking your opinion. I'm just presenting mine as a different perspective. Phrases like, I see things a bit differently, or, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, are also fantastic tools.
The takeaway is that you don't have to agree with everyone to have a good conversation. Learning how to disagree politely is a superpower for deeper, more interesting discussions. Here's a little challenge for our listeners. Next time you're watching a movie or talking about a book with someone, try to express an opinion using one of these polite phrases, even if you have to practice it with yourself first.
I love that challenge. Okay, so we've had our debate, and maybe the conversation got a bit complex. This brings us to our third area, asking for help and clarification. This is so important, and learners should never feel ashamed to do this.
I couldn't agree more. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of a committed learner. If you don't understand something, you have to ask. The most direct phrase is simply, sorry, I didn't catch that. It's polite and very common. Or, could you say that again, please?
And sometimes you hear the words, but you don't understand the meaning of one specific word or phrase. You can ask, what does word mean? Or, what do you mean by that? I remember when I was learning, I used to just nod and smile, hoping I would understand later from context. It's a terrible strategy.
We've all been there. It's much better to just be honest. You can even say, sorry, English is not my first language. Could you please speak a little more slowly? Most people will be very happy to help. They will appreciate that you are making an effort to communicate effectively.
It's true. The goal is communication, not perfection. So our takeaway here is simple. Don't pretend to understand. Use these simple phrases to ask for clarification. It will improve your comprehension and reduce your anxiety.
All right, moving on to something more fun. Our fourth step is all about making plans and suggestions. This is how you take your English from the classroom to a cafe, a park, or the cinema. It's about building relationships.
Yes, and it can be scary to be the one who initiates. But it's so rewarding. A simple way to start is with, are you free on Saturday? Or, do you have any plans for the weekend? This checks their availability first.
And then you can make the suggestion. Instead of a direct command like, let's go for a coffee, which is okay, but a bit plain, you can try more inviting phrases. How about we grab a coffee sometime? Are you up for seeing a movie on Friday? Or, I was thinking of going to the new art gallery. Would you like to join? They all sound a little softer and more collaborative.
And you need to be prepared to receive answers too. If they say, yes, I'd love to, or sounds great, then wonderful. But what if they are busy? A native speaker will rarely just say no. They will probably say something like, oh, I'd love to, but I have other plans, maybe another time. Or they might ask to take a rain check, which means they can't now but want to do it in the future.
That's a great point. So the takeaway is to be brave and initiate plans. Using phrases like, how about, or are you up for, is a friendly and effective way to organize social activities, which is one of the best ways to practice your English. And here's a mini challenge. Find a friend, either a native speaker or another learner, and send them a message in English to try and make a plan for next week.
Fantastic. And this leads us perfectly to our final and fifth step. How to end the conversation politely. Sometimes this can be the most awkward part. You've had a nice chat, but now you need to leave. How do you do it without sounding abrupt?
It's a real skill. You can't just turn around and walk away. You need to use a closing signal. This is a phrase that indicates the conversation is coming to an end. For example, you can start with, well, or anyway. Then you can say, it was great talking to you, but I should get going. Or, I have to run, but let's catch up again soon.
The reason is important. I should get going, or I have to run, or I need to get back to work. It gives a polite explanation for why you are leaving. And adding the future part, let's catch up soon, is a wonderful way to show that you enjoyed the conversation and want to do it again. It leaves the door open.
Exactly. Other great phrases are, it was lovely to see you, and take care. You are closing the current conversation while reinforcing the connection. No one feels like you are running away from them.
So the final takeaway is that ending a conversation gracefully is just as important as starting one. Use a signal phrase, give a simple reason, and mention a future connection. With that, you will always leave a positive impression.
Hello, everyone. It's Carla. What a great conversation. Charlotte and Marco mentioned so many useful phrases. I've selected 11 of them to break down for you. Let's begin. Catch up. To talk to someone you haven't seen for a while and find out what they have been doing. Example, let's get coffee next week and properly catch up. Can't complain. A positive and casual response to, how are you? Meaning things are going well. Example, work is busy but good, so I can't complain. What have you been up to? A friendly way to ask what someone has been doing recently. Example, I haven't seen you in ages. What have you been up to? I see your point. A phrase used to show you understand someone's opinion, especially before disagreeing. Example, I see your point about the cost, but I think the quality is worth it. To be on the same page. to be in agreement about something. Example: before we start the project, let's have a meeting to make sure we're all on the same page. I didn't catch that. A polite way to say you didn't hear or understand something. Example: it's very loud in here. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. To get going. A phrase used to signal that you need to leave. Example: well, it's getting late. I should probably get going now. Are you up for? A casual and friendly way to invite someone to do something. Example: are you up for a walk in the park this afternoon? Sounds great. A common and enthusiastic way to accept a suggestion or invitation. Example: a movie on Friday? Sounds great, I'm in. Take a rain check. To politely decline an offer, with the hope of accepting it at a later time. Example: I'm busy tonight, but can I take a rain check on that dinner? No worries. A relaxed way to say, it's okay, or don't worry about it. Example: you forgot to bring the book? No worries, you can give it to me tomorrow. I hope these help you feel more confident. Back to you, Marco.
Thanks, Carla. Those explanations are always so clear. I think the two most important ideas from today are, first, that these phrases are not just words to memorize. They are tools to build real connections with people.
I completely agree. And the second idea is that practice is everything. Don't try to use all 75 phrases at once. Just choose one or two this week that you feel comfortable with, and try to use them in a real conversation. Small steps lead to big progress.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you all so much for listening.
Keep practicing and keep learning. We'll see you in the next episode of Aprende Inglés con Carla. Bye for now. Cada frase que aprendes es un puente más que construyes hacia la fluidez y la confianza. Has hecho un gran trabajo hoy al dedicar este tiempo a tu inglés. Sigue así y nos escuchamos en el próximo episodio.